All right. Hello. My name is Carrie Varela. I'm with Reiki Healing Society, and today is a little snapshot for our Reiki Women Podcast. And I'm here with Jae Omnet, who is a spiritual stress management coach. And she's also an advanced Reiki training practitioner. And she is a yoga teacher. And actually, that's how we met each other, doing a 500-hour yoga teacher training together. She's an amazing coach, a mind, body, spirit coach, and she's a neuro-linguistic programmer. Jae, I would love to hear a little bit more from you about what drew you to the practice of Reiki and how you incorporate it into your business.
I love that question. I'm excited to share about Reiki and how it came into my life, which is interesting because it was you that brought me to the practice of Reiki initially. It was 2017 that I first started to practice with you, actually, and I had my first experience of Reiki. I was traveling at the time, so I live in New Zealand. I was based in New Zealand. I was traveling at the time through the USA and Canada. And before I left, I actually knew, at that time I was running my yoga studio. I was teaching about 12, 14 classes a week at a beautiful community in a small town here. And I knew that I needed something to help me manage my energy in such a giving environment and in such a deeply energetic, changeable environment. So what I mean by that is there are a lot of people that were relying on me, and there was a lot of different energies, and as I call it, a rather than empath, as being a sensitive person to energy, I needed something that helped me to stay in alignment and helped me to keep my light strong within. And that's actually why I initially was sort of drawn to Reiki. It was like a practice that helped me stay spiritually strong. And I didn't know how that was going to come about. I'd actually kind of looked at it with a couple of people here. And then I was on a yoga training in Santa Cruz. And our teacher asked you to do a Shavasana with Reiki. And I was lucky enough to be sitting right beside you at the time. And as soon as you started to do it, I just could feel it. And I could feel the energy. I could feel what you were doing. And I could see the light within you. But also, I knew in that moment, without a question, it was just like this loud shouting voice was like, she's your teacher. She's the one supposed to teach you. So I actually changed all of my plans, my travel plans. I was only meant to be away for like 2.5 months, and I ended up staying for like 4. And I went to Hawaii and then flew to Denver, and we did this beautiful retreat, and I did my Reiki level 1 and 2. And it's just everything got better from then on in. And it was such a beautiful experience. It really opened me up to, wow, I didn't realize it then, but I realize it now. It was like my first stepping stones to realizing that I am a medicine woman and that I can help people find their energy and help people find their healing and really bring people into the magic and spirituality of life. And it was a challenging road to open up to that without letting ego get in the way, because it wasn't and it isn't still something that is common and familiar, or it's seen, especially in this, I live in a quite small-minded community in terms of what they're open to. So it was challenged in a lot of ways in terms of what people accepted. So I think that's what kept it sort of slow. But it was a beautiful practice for me right from the word go, and I just dove straight into, the beautiful, self-Reiki meditation, and it was a commitment for years, and it still is. I feel like it's more of it still is a part of me, and it comes really naturally, and it's just been such a beautiful gift to share and to have, to keep me resilient and strong, and so.
Well, I don't know.
That's a
It's so hard to
beautiful
take that in
journey.
sometimes because I feel so grateful in some ways that like that Reiki landed for you in this really soft spot. And it was just the thing that, you know, awakened your healing potential or just connected you back to who you really
Mm,
are. And that's the reason why I went on this journey, you know, to teach Reiki like almost 10 years ago now or 11 years ago now. It's just like, I knew how special it was when I found Reiki and like that connection. And it just kind of set me like on fire with,
mm-hmm.
uh, you know, my purpose and how I wanted to serve and show up for other people and what was possible for me. And I don't know. And then like the freedom to share that with somebody else or to see that happen in them and know how transformative it was for myself, but to see it like
Mm.
happen for others too, and just like set them on the path of where their heart wants to go. Like, I don't know, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
It's amazing, huh? I mean, I don't know about you, but I still remember my first attunement and just like that incredible feeling of receiving, and yeah, it was amazing.
So amazing. And I
Hmm.
just like I want to applaud you for being like this amazing free spirit who is just like, no, I'll just change my travel plan, go with Carrie on this retreat and learn Reiki and just let the universe take me to where I want to go. Like it takes a lot of guns to like make those changes,
Mm.
but you did it and it took you into where you are today. So
Yeah, the universe helped me along the way. I kind of put it out there, and then this crazy sequence, not crazy, synchronous sequence of events happened, and yes, I was guided as well as so ready.
already.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's super special. And I guess I have some other questions for you too, because
Mm.
you live in New Zealand and you have been a Reiki practitioner and a coach and a yoga teacher all throughout pandemic. And that's hit you really hard. I mean, it's hit me hard
Mhm.
in the United States, but I don't have any sort of level of like the mandates that you've had, the social distancing, the amount of shutdowns. Um,
Mm.
so I know that's kind of a depressing topic, but I just
Nope.
love to hear from
It's
you
real.
how you've like found resilience to keep doing what you do, and maybe link it a little bit to you know being a woman in New Zealand and what's that been like, um,
Mm.
and what kind of support you feel like has either been there for you or not been there for you.
Mm. That's a big question. Um, but it's yeah, you're right. It is a little depressing, and it has been. And it's been challenging and negative, and it's really tested me in so many ways, and a lot of it has not been easy at all. Um, yeah, for me, it was one extreme to the other because I just come back from Bali, which is such a blessing to be in Bali before COVID hit, but it was really one extreme to the other because I was leading a yoga training and alongside my teacher, our beautiful teacher, and it was just this pool of love and energy and Bali spirit and
Mm.
so much hugs and touching and love and you name it. And then I got back to New Zealand. It was like, here's a pandemic, and I
Ugh.
ended up going from Bali to 8 weeks isolation by myself without even an animal. And so that was and obviously not expected. So it was such a shock for my system. And in that process, I'd lost my job, what I was doing and my purpose. And I'd lost all of my plans, which I know a lot of people had. But for me, there was so much that changed, not just the pandemic.
Mhm.
And so that made it just, exponentially harder. But I started teaching online. I started teaching yoga, and I started offering Reiki relaxations. And I'll get into some more of the challenges, but the gift that I very quickly realized that I never would have without COVID is how powerful Reiki healing and Reiki relaxation, which is a lot of what I do, is online. and how many people were drawn to that right from the word go. Because I had that 8 weeks by myself, and I was like, I gotta reach out to people. I gotta do something. So I was offering these free classes and free Reiki relaxations and it was just so powerful to see the people that were coming in and the people that were connecting to what I was doing and what they were getting from it. And being of service is very, very important to me. Like if I'm not doing that, I don't feel like I'm me. So that was really helpful. And I never would have learned how powerful it is to do sessions online. I've done one-on-one sessions with people in California, and they're like, I can't get my head around the fact that we're so far away, and people in the UK, and they're receiving and they're feeling these shifts and this healing, and it's that just opened my mind up to just a whole another level of like how powerful it is and how irrelevant distance is when it comes to energy and intention and that sort of thing. What I've noticed over the last 2 years is we've not just had one lockdown, we've had quite a few. There's been a lot of, because our borders have been shut pretty much this whole time, apart from a little pocket of opening up to Australia, we've been waiting for a long time. Like I feel like we've been waiting for the pandemic to hit us. And it doesn't mean that we haven't had COVID here, but we haven't had the same experiences as the UK and the US, and we haven't had the same number of deaths and the tragedy of other countries. But there's been this waiting, like it's going to happen. We've had a lot of the media have communicated to us to expect the same scenario as other countries, and whether that's true or not. Well, thankfully, we haven't had that happen. It doesn't mean that some people haven't been affected by COVID. We all have, but we've had a really different experience here in New Zealand.
So, but it sounds like what your practice has been offering is a real tool to like really get into those triggers and work through them so that you can respond to your life in really healthier ways, and respond to the stresses and really work with those stresses to help them heal. And that's really profound work that you offer. Well, Jae, it was just so wonderful to chat with you and highlight a little bit about what you're doing in the world with Reiki and your journey and what drew you to the practice. And thank you so much for joining our podcast today. And maybe we'll get to see you again down the road and share
it's a pleasure.
About another question or another thing that really inspires you about Reiki.
Yeah, I would love that. Let's talk about some more of the good juju.
Totally. Well, stay strong, stay resilient, and I'm just so grateful that this path brought us both together and that I could share
Reiki
me
too.
And it could just illuminate something so beautiful inside of you, and I can just see the ripple effect, when we choose to do this work and then share it on to others. Like there's no limit to what that wave of energy can do for the world. So thanks for being a part of it. It's amazing.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.